Hello, 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 everybody. Right on time, 8 o'clock. Thank you so much for joining me here this fine Wednesday, May 17th. As you can see there, my name is Alan Devlin here at the Atlanta News First Alert Desk, and we are going to be talking about today's top stories. It's been a pretty busy day in news as I get the thumbs up from our web team telling me you guys can hear me. We are not streaming on Facebook for the time being, so if you usually watch on Facebook or if you keep an eye out for it on Facebook, you can always find me right here on YouTube or on Apple TV, Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, wherever you get your streaming services, you can find us. We will be there. I'm going to jump right into some of the stories we're going to be talking about today. The first one is going to be out of Forsyth County, where we learned that coworkers, according to police, got into a verbal argument that then turned violent and they ended up shooting at each other. One of those coworkers actually died. So I want to show you some video of that scene in Forsyth County. We're told this was at a furniture development store where they build stuff for schools and the office, furniture for the schools and the office, basically. Police say that they got into a verbal argument inside and then went out to the parking lot. They both went to their cars, got their guns, and started shooting at each other. Both of them were hit by the other. One of them died. The other one right now is fighting for their life in the hospital. We don't have any names on either of these two people involved or what they were arguing about that got them so heated to the point of deadly violence. But this is a story that's just crazy because imagine being one of those coworkers inside that building. You go to work. I'm sure, all of you guys have coworkers in some capacity. Watching this go down outside in your parking lot, that's terrifying because it's just a normal day at work until it's not. And this was early this morning, so it was just starting off. Again, we really just want to know what it was that led to that point. Police said they were going to wait to interview the survivor of that argument until they were better or at least able to talk. They were in the hospital, again, fighting for their life, critically injured. So once they are able to speak to them, I'm sure we'll get a better picture of why this went down the way it did. The next one I want to talk to you guys about is a shooting in West Midtown today that basically shut down Howell Mill Road for a good portion of time. This was at the Super Rica restaurant, right outside that Super Rica restaurant. This is Atlanta News First Chopper showing. The Brady Apartments as well were where the centerpiece of this really was. You can see that restaurant on the right side over there. So police say that, a man was shot outside of that building, and the suspect then ran, and they had to start searching Howell Mill Road, neighboring businesses, neighboring apartment complexes for that suspect. It happened around noon, and Howell Mill was shut down pretty much. Most of the Howell Mill, and if you know West Midtown, that's one of the most popular roadways in West Midtown. Always traffic, but at noon it was way worse with roads being closed. Now we're told that they were actually able to find that suspect and arrest that suspect after searching through these apartment buildings. So we do believe that suspect sprinted into the Brady Apartments, and they were able to get him right around 5 o'clock. Chelsea Beimfort was out there all day long as soon as we heard about the shooting. SWAT responded. Everybody was out there. And again, Howell Mill Road is now back open, thankfully. I was just over there a little while ago, actually. And we still, again, no answers as to why this gentleman decided to open fire at noon on a Wednesday on one of the busiest roads in Atlanta. But traffic has returned to normal. That person that was shot is in the hospital. They are recovering. This was not a fatal shooting. And so that person will be able to give police more insight into how in the world we got here. And before I close up, I wanted to end on a good note here, actually. We've got some good news out of what was a tragedy. Earlier this month, we all know the Midtown mass shooting shocked Atlanta, brought it to a standstill, a halt for hours and hours as that suspect was on the run. No one knew where he was. The gentleman, according to police, walked in, alleged gunman, opened fire, killing one, injuring four, all women inside that Midtown medical facility. The good news I was getting to, a long way to say, all four of those victims who were checked into Grady Hospital have all been released out of Grady Hospital. We got that word today. This is a little bit of that scene from Northside Medical, right there in the heart of Midtown Atlanta, the day of that shooting. Four people were shot, one killed. Amy St. Pierre was the woman that tragically lost her life. Her celebration of life was last week. The other four women in this incident were shot, some in the upper body, lower body, multiple times. They were all released. Lisa Glenn, Georgette Whitlow, Jasmine Danny, and Alicia Hollinger survived their shootings, and they are out and about right now. Still a long way to recover, because even though they may be physically on the mend, mentally, this is shocking. Think about it. You just are at work on a normal day, and this happens. I don't know if you're going to be able to psych yourself out enough to be able to just return to your normal life after experiencing something as tragic as this. But we are very happy that the four women who literally just showed up to do their jobs are on the mend, out of the hospital, back at home with, I'm sure, their loving families, surrounded by that love and support that they really, really need right now. And again, tragically, Amy St. Pierre is not going to be spending that time with her family after losing her life in that shooting. Deion Patterson, the suspected gunman, we've been following up on this as this one moves forward, because we still really don't have a motive from police as to why he decided to open fire on May 3rd inside that Midtown medical facility. And, we haven't heard too much out of that ongoing investigation, but it is an investigation. And, 5-6 hours worth of a manhunt after that shooting. They didn't catch him until actually 8 hours, because the shooting happened around noon. And they caught him around 8 o'clock that night, 9 o'clock that night. So he was over in Cobb County in Truist Park. But they did get their man. I want to show you, actually. I have this video up here I was going to show you guys. I forgot to bring it up. This is Amy St. Pierre. This is the woman who died in that shooting. And it's terrible to think about how the only thing separating, her from anybody else is just wrong place, wrong time. That's it. You really can't go any more into life more protected or less protected or change anything up in a situation like hers. She just went to work that day to go to work, just like I'm at work, just like you guys went to work today, or if you're still at work. Wrong place, wrong time. That's what separates all of us from being a victim of one of these shootings. So it is scary to think about. But again, it's a good news story here. All four of those women who were shot out of the hospital, which is some really, really good news for me to be able to share with you guys to end this little 3-story string here. And you know what comes next? Now we jump right into the weather, of course. It's been a weird, wacky couple of days in weather. My goodness. Live look over Midtown shows what is honestly a lot better than what we've been dealing with. It was a lot darker earlier today, and it was terrible yesterday. We've been dealing with a first alert. Meteorologist Patrick Pete is here to talk a little bit about what the rest of our evening is going to look like, Patrick. Hopefully we aren't thrown back into what was some nasty weather like we had yesterday.
Yeah, you know what? Not like last night, Alan. Last night we had that first round of showers and storms, and we were prepping for another one. Thankfully, that is not the case tonight. So there's a low-end chance of an isolated shower this evening. For the most part, the bulk of the rain is gone. We're pretty much done for the night, which is good. Happy Wednesday. Hopefully you are at home drinking a nice glass of red Zinfandel. Wind down Wednesday, that's the recommendation. Meanwhile, as we take a look at the forecast for the next couple of days, we're still dealing with some rain chances. So there's a first alert for tomorrow, scattered showers and storms. And unlike today where we could say, geographically, if you were along and south of I-20, you're going to have the better chance of seeing the showers and storms, which coincidentally was where 85-90% of the showers and storms were today. Tomorrow's rain chance is going to be for everybody. So we're all going to need to be weather aware tomorrow. Thankfully, we don't have a severe weather risk, so that's good news. But some of that rain is going to be a bit intense, much like these last few cells have been the last couple of days. As we head into your Friday, it looks like the bulk of that moisture is going to be early morning. So the second half of the day, the forecast does trend a little bit drier. And then another first alert on Saturday, as we're going to be watching a cold front make its way into the area. And as that front slides in, it's going to bring some instability our way. Scattered showers and storms are in the forecast. Now, theoretically, we would normally like to give you a time window for that, but the guidance has been all over the place with that timing on Saturday. So that's something we're trying to nail down over the course of the next 12 hours. But for now, we do feel very confident that showers and thunderstorms are going to be along that front at some point on Saturday. And that's going to segue into a very fantastic forecast for your Sunday. So if you were looking to make plans to be outside, for sure, green light to make those plans for Sunday afternoon and even Monday. Heading into next week, we're going to start off the week on a very dry note. So good news there. Meanwhile, tomorrow's highs are going to be part of the problem with clouds and rain around. We're going to struggle to get into the 70s across the bulk of the region. And the further east you are, the more likely you're only going to top out in the mid to upper 60s at best, because we're looking at an easterly component to the wind. And not to give you a meteorological lesson about our geography, but whenever you have clouds in place and an east wind here, that typically ends up being some cooler temperature. So we're going to see somewhat of a weaker backdoor cold front of some sorts, a backdoor weak cool front that's going to have temperatures cooler on the eastern side of the state tomorrow. That combined with everything else that's going on. So here's how the day unfolds. We're going to be starting off with cloudy skies, and there's going to be some moisture around tomorrow, but lower in rain chances. We're not expecting everybody to have a wet morning drive, but some folks will. As we get closer to around 12 o'clock, we do think those precip chances are going to go down for a few hours, and then they're going to go back up as we head into the afternoon. 3 o'clock, picking up the kids from the school, widely scattered showers and thunderstorms, only becoming more widespread as we head closer to that 5 o'clock commute forecast. So going to be messy through the afternoon and evening. And as you can see, these oranges and reds, that's indicating heavier downpours. So for sure, we're going to be tracking those downpours through 8 o'clock. And then as we head later into the evening, those showers and storms, much like tonight, are going to diminish. So we'll lower those rain chances for late evening. So all day parts, you need to kind of be dialed in for the potential for those showers and storms. If maybe like, I'm going to go get my hair cut tomorrow, but my hair's not really that big of a deal. But if you're getting your hair done and maybe you don't want to get it wet tomorrow, you're not going to want to go anywhere without that umbrella, just because those scattered showers and storms are just going to be a big part of the forecast. And then as we head into your Friday, the bulk of that moisture is going to be earlier in the day. So we're just cloudy and temperatures near 60 for the morning drive. It's going to be cloudy through most of the day. Breaks in the clouds as we head into the lunch hour across parts of the area. And that's going to be enough to bump those afternoon temps into the mid 70s. So it's going to be a little bit warmer on Friday than what we're expecting tomorrow, but still not quite in the low 80s like we should be for this time of year. But hey, I'm going to take a dry day, and clouds are going to break through the evening. And we're going to have a pretty fantastic forecast for anybody that's trying to step out Friday night. Meanwhile, Saturday, showers and storms as a cold front slides in. Now, we'll have some southerly flow eventually ahead of that front, so that should get us into the upper 70s a little bit on Saturday before those showers and storms build in. It's going to be damp. Right now, it's looking like storms are going to be possible, lots of lightning, and then as we head into your Sunday, things start to dry out. Temperatures are going to bump into the upper 70s, so Sunday is actually going to be a great day to be out and about in the city. Everybody likes a good Sunday fun day. Listen, go ahead and mark it in your calendar. Sunday fun day needs to be a part of your weekend plans. And then as we head back to work next week, guidance is trending drier for the start of the week, which is good news. There's some clouds around on Monday, but we do expect more sunshine Tuesday and Wednesday, and temperatures are going to be comfortably hovering near 80 degrees as we head into next week. So I am going to check and see where you all are on social media. Hello to everybody that's at home joining us on one of our many streaming options that you have on your TV. It's a lot of y'all on YouTube. Hello. Disney 100 Years of Wonder. It's a bunch of y'all for this time of day. Hello, everybody on YouTube. Showing y'all some love. Hopefully y'all are having a fantastic day, and I am too, Disney. But that pretty much sums up the forecast. So with that being said, it's dinner time for y'all. It's dinner time for me. I'm going to leave y'all with this 7-day forecast. I'm going to eat something real quick, and then I'll come back and talk with meteorologist Fred Campagna, and we'll fine-tune the forecast for you with the latest data that we're going to get in over the course of the next hour and a half. Y'all can catch us at 9, 10, and 11. Happy Wednesday.